If you're still fairly new to grounded, it can be a bit of a challenge getting across parts of the yard without building a huge amount of ramps, stairways, or crafting resources like bombs to get through. I've got some tips, some hacks, how to get to certain places on the map, how to get some hard to reach molars and science points. So I'm going to cover all this now as I've been practicing doing my PEEP event. More details about that, check out the video that's in the comment section. But here we go, for new and older players, I've definitely missed some stuff and you guys have definitely given me some tips as well about how to get around the map quicker. So this is what gave me the idea to this video. You guys told me that in the Black Ant Hill, you don't actually need to bring any grenades with you. You can complete it just by making sure you jump at the right spot. So once you've headed into Black Ant Hill, keep going further and deeper. Obviously avoiding or taking out the ants as you go, it's up to you. Once you get in the main chamber where you're meant to drop a bomb to blow up the rock, if you take a look behind you on this little ramp, you see the tiny little dirt pile just on the right hand side, and you actually got to aim for the tallest point. If you try aiming to the left, you won't actually be able to make it, and it's as simple as that. You don't need a massive run up or jump, you can simply just hop onto it. You've got a chance of getting grenades in some of these chests, and pretty much you will be guaranteed to get at least 1 or 2 grenades as you go through clearing out. Then go through the doorway and go through the tunnel, and you can start opening up all the doorways that you need to go through. Just put your hand on the biometric scanner to open the room, and that will open up the doorway that opens up the next set of doors for you to go and explore the rest of the anthill. Of course, you should all know now you can explore the rest of the Black Ant Hill, eventually leading to the tunnel to the sandbox, but there is another way I'm going to show you guys in a minute, how to get into the sandbox and not via the picnic table. So next up, the franking line, how to get to the upper yard fairly quickly and easily without any grenades. As long as you've got a tuft, you should be good to go. You can climb the grass stalks here and you can get on top of the franking line. This is only one of 2 places that you can really get onto top of the upper yards in this direction. Of course you can build platforms up here or stairways, etc, but in terms of saving resources and getting up here quickly, then this is one of the best ways to go. So literally just follow the path that I've just made. As long as you've not harvested any grass before, these will always spawn exactly the same position. It's only once you start harvesting these places that they may suddenly change where they actually spout from. And this is a good easy way to go and get the franking line scab early in the game too. And that's it, you're up on the upper yard, one of my favourite spots for a base. Of course, you know if you go along a bit further, you'll come to the upper yard ascent, and this is the way that you're meant to go once you bring a grenade to blow it up. But again, you don't have to actually go this way. There is another way up just to the left hand side of these paving slabs, up the grass stalks, and even closer to where the barbecue grill is. Again, you may want to bring a tuft. I find it's always a bit easier to do so, but not necessary as long as you follow the exact jumps that I'm doing onto these grass stalks. Here, that's where you can get across with the tuft, but otherwise you can jump on this lower one just here, then a little hop over to this one, and then go ahead and jump onto the blade of grass next to it. As long as you don't go too far down, it should be easy peasy to get across. Once you're up on this section, if you want to get to the next flower bed, again, you don't have to go through the actual barbecue zone explicitly if you're worried about getting too hot. Just jump on top of this barbecue lid and you can actually run around the outside edges of it. If you go around the right hand side, you do have to cut some grass, but the left hand side is perfectly fine. You won't get any sizzle and no creatures will be able to get you. Since we're in this area, next is the fertilizer bag. This is one you guys told me about for ages. I've kept building up staircases to get on top, or jumping down from the decking. Head to the far side as if you're going towards the termite wood, and you can see we've got these weird mushrooms. Simply jump on top of the big pebble here, or the rock, then jump on this grass blade here. Again, it looks like you'll fall, but you should be able to make it, no problem. I always find this easier to do in third person, and then you simply got to jump on top of this mushroom. Then simply jump on the next grass blade and onto the second mushroom. And that's it, you should be able to jump on here, no problem, to go and peep the green shield bug. Or kill it, depending on what you're here for. Not really a hack, but just my preferred way. Of course, you can get up on the decking by going up the termite area where you've got the axe and the wooden block. That is another way to do it, or you can simply go up the bike. Again, technically, that's the way that you should be going up here. But I actually like going all the way to the far right-hand side near where the upper yard is being worked on. Go all the way around the corner, you get to see the new environment that's been sort of developed, and then just keep going all the way up. Not exactly a hack, but this is a good way to also get on top of the big chair, as well as explore some of the radio and table that's on the deck. Obviously when you're up here as well, if you don't know, there's some science points behind the other side of the top part of this chair. So never jump all the way down, try and aim for one of these gaps and you should see the science points here. And again, you can just get to the other side with a little bit of practice. You just got to simply go to the edge as high as you can without falling off and then just simply jump back onto the edge just here. And that's it, inside, up to the next baseball bat and across to the table. Of course, if you've been wondering how to get the milk molar, I've done this as part of the shed guide in the past, but again, a recap of how to do it as well. Run up the, obviously, little cutters, and then you can see it's on that plant pot. That's what we've got to get to. There should be some science points up here as well. If you didn't know, this is where you can get some burr bombs, even before you've plugged the haze. And then just simply make your way up. Again, and make sure you've got a tuft to give you a little bit of a hand, just in case. But otherwise, you'd be aiming for this stick here. This is the one that you need to get to the top of, rather than the other one behind it. Once you're at the top, take a big massive jump with your tuft, and you should just about go ahead and make it onto here to get the golden molar. Next up, we've got the tire. That's just by the wall. And again, it's all about using the dead grass here to get up onto this one. Then the second one, and jump on this side facing the termite wood. Then go to the other side and go up as high as you can, and if a little bit of practice you should be able to maybe get on top of this one. If not, just simply turn around and you will be able to walk up this spoke right here. Now this one will take you almost to the top where you've got to go, but as soon as you get up here you then need to go ahead and try and get onto the middle spoke. That's where some big science points are. So if you creep up a little bit on this one, and then it should be no problem at all getting over to the second one. Don't jump there though, because you will hit that spoke. Instead, keep going up the middle of it instead, like this. And there you go, science points galore. So it's all about choice for this one. If you don't want to be going through the infected zone and the haze to get to the haze laboratory, or you don't want to be using any masks, or maybe you haven't got the resources yet, then this is an alternative. It's still quite tough to get something that you need, which is going to be the tier 2 knife. But again, you might find it easier to get them resources rather than the stuff needed for the mask. But this does avoid the infected haze completely, and as long as you're pretty quick and you've got some healing items on you, you don't even have to really fight any of the creatures, even the diving bell spiders you come across. Make sure you've got plenty of air, and yeah, you can do this without any other potions, any breathing apparatus. You just need that tier 2 bone knife. In terms of progression, it should be easy to craft if you've already done the pond and cleared out that laboratory. And you could always kill the diving bell spiders to get a little bit of additional oxygen, but that's it, you're inside the haze. Once inside, you go ahead and just put your hand on the biometric scanner, obviously making sure that you spoke to Burgle first, and you can get inside and do what you want to do. And to get out, you will get some grenades when you go and get the chip and you've turned on the power, so you can use them grenades to get out the front door if you don't want to go back the way that you came. So can you plug the haze without needing a gas mask? Yes, you can, but you will need obviously a gastro guard, which is one of the smoothies that's going to protect you for a few minutes. I've tried a bunch of different times to do this without it, but there simply is no way to get through the canister area without at least having either the mask or the gastro goo. Now there isn't any kind of rotten gas mask that I've seen, then you might really need to do it this way. So you need to get on top of the deck. That's probably the crucial part here. Unless you've got, again, the gastro mask, you can go underneath maybe where you go and get the pink gum. But this way, again, gives you just a nice little view of exactly where you're running straight along the deck. So you need a stink bug part as well as some fungal growth to make the gastro goo. That's the two hardest resources to get hold of for it. But that is it, just that one little concoction, and you should be able to go and plug the haze. You've got plenty of time. You can see the mask, it's only about a quarter down by the time we actually get all the way up there. But don't spend too much time while up here. You do need to make sure you plug it while you've got the protection on, as there is still gas that can hurt you if you go ahead. But you can even put that down pretty quickly and then get out of the way. Next up, how to get onto the sandbox without going through the black anthill or going up the picnic table. Now again, this is just an alternative route, but it does give you an opportunity to kind of avoid a lot of them other areas and possibly go ahead and get a mega milk molar earlier. So I'm obviously where the computer is, the trash RZ3000, and you can see there's some dirt mounds. Either side of it you can get up here pretty simply, and you're just going to simply climb them up and you should be able to get on top of the trash can, again without needing any kind of gas mask or worrying about getting rid of all the gas food. Once you're up here, you can see the hole that you would normally come up through the trash, but now we're going to be aiming to get on top of the black bags. Once you're up there, jump from the computer onto this black bag here, and then run up to the top. and then you're going to be jumping across to the next one. You basically need to get to the bag closest to the sandbox. Don't leave it too late to jump, as there is still quite a bit of a slope sometimes that makes you go down, but yeah, you should be okay once you land here. And then once you're ready, get a nice big long run up, jump from the apex of this little bump, and just about you should make it over to the sandbox. In terms of time, it's probably just as quick to go up the picnic table, but again, if you really haven't managed to get hold of any of the bombs yet, or you just simply have been using them for other things, or maybe you don't have to do the parkour climbing up the picnic table or worrying about the bees, then this is a way that you can get up here. You notice I'm showing you also how to get on top of this plant to get the gold molar, and again, obviously I'm using cheat creative mode here now, but you could easily bring some mushroom wall pieces to get up here, or hack away at some of the burr weeds that are actually in the water in the sandbox below you, and then go back across the sandbox and bring them up here. There are spots as well where you can put grass planks as well, but of course you might not be able to get across that jump holding the grass planks and using the tuft, so it has got to be something like mushroom bricks really to make this quick and easy. In fact, I should have put a half wall there, so you can simply just go and put another half wall connected to it, and then it'll get you up. And of course avoid the cactuses, as they're pretty deadly. Benefits of doing it this way: you're directly closer to the scanner and you're not going to have to run across the sand as much. Although of course you can just keep running all the way around the sandbox. So this one was sent to me by ShadowSense, who said that you can do this, and I think other tubers have covered it obviously as well, but first time that I'd seen it, and I thought we might as well pop it inside this guide as well. Well, basically you're aiming to get on top of this little bit here. It's quite tough, I'm not going to lie. I did this about 4 or 5 times, and you've got to be careful. You don't want to be dropping into them larvae, and it's quite a high drop as well, but eventually you will be able to get on top of that lip. I did try going underneath it and crouching and stuff and seeing if I could just bounce my way up, but yeah, it was always a bit too hard. But a little bit of perseverance and eventually I did it. Go and get Cyber Strike Scab, then simply drop off using a tuft and you can go ahead and get the milk molar. There's a quick and easy way to get up to the hedge once you've unlocked the very first computer, and to do that you need to climb all the way through the long parts of the hedge. Here's the corridor, it opens up, simple, but how do you open this very quickly without going through the first part of the hedge? And I am going to show you how to get on top of this flower bed super easy as well. But otherwise you just climb up near where the doorway is. Obviously the doorway will be shut because you've not activated the first part of the computer near the password where you come in on the zip line, but you can simply just go up the wood and climb up the leaves. You're aiming for this branch here to duck down and then creep up here, and then instead of going inside the laboratory you do actually want to get on top of it. So use the gold molar and then hop on top of the lab sections. And simply go all the way up until you get to the point where the room is where you can turn on the power. Either just hop in on the zip line like this, and then that's it, job done. Turn the power on and you've got the corridor down below. But you need to get up to this flower bed, and there's seemingly no way to do so since the devs did nerf the tiny little ramp that I'm going to show you. You used to be able to jump on top of the grasses to pretty much get onto a dirt run, and this would get you up here right next to where there's some spider webs. But the devs blocked it off, but you can still climb up here using the grass. So for this one, aim for the clover, then turn around and aim for these ones, then back round again and jump on top of this grass blade right next to it, and then kind of just make your way up to the highest one. You do have to get up to pretty much the tallest. You might not be able to make that even with a tuft. Jump onto this one, and yeah, it's pretty tough parkour, but it's guaranteed a way to get you up to there. So speedrunners, especially for the peak challenge that I'm doing, it's perfect. And then if you want to explore the upper ponds that are still in development but get way all the way around, well, there is actually a way you can just jump up the grass on this same flower bed that we just climbed. And you know the score now. Just make your way up, look for the tallest ones and the flattest ones, and you should be able to jump up pretty easily. This one particularly I really like. If you jump backwards, then jump onto this one, and then this one looks like you can't jump on it, but as long as you aim high enough you will have a little platform that you can hit. And that's it, we're up onto the outer bounds area and the next flower bed. If you run all the way along, you can actually use this to get on top of here and pick up a whole bunch of the nectar. Or maybe even build a specific trap to hopefully get bees, put a platform of kind of weed stems or something across, and then that way you can go ahead and collect any pollen once you've killed a few bees. There's definitely more hacks like this in the game, and I'm going to deliver them to you with lots of tips and guides videos. So make sure you're subscribed, check out the rest of my content, and I'll see you rat bags for more.